What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the PlayStation Showcase, the PlayStation rumors, and that it's been delayed. Now, there are too many, in my opinion, too many rumors, too many people just saying things that honestly, some contradict each other, some contradict themselves over on Twitter, and yes, it is Twitter, but no, we've heard a lot of stuff about PlayStation. We've heard about a state of play. We've heard about a PlayStation Showcase. Now, those are two different things, right? And nobody's being specific with the PlayStation or the state of play, the literal state of play. Nobody's really being specific of what we would see from that, except for Roberto Serrano, who take, his word however you want to take it, right? But we've heard conflicting things. So let's kind of break it down. Let's talk about what seems to be happening and where the month is going, all right? So we've heard about this state of play. Now, we have heard it actually from more people than just Roberto. In fact, today, I believe this morning, Game Reactor said that a new PlayStation state of play or showcase has been planned for this week. And that was a rumor that they were told, or an insider told them that a month ago, okay? So that does line up with what Roberto said with this week, Thursday, okay, Thursday, March 10th, being Hogwarts Legacy. As I said, though, and I think a Hogwarts Legacy specific video, I don't exactly get that. If it happens, fantastic. Fantastic. And I'll give Roberto credit. I think he would honestly deserve a lot of credit if he got that thing right. But to me, it doesn't sound right that Sony would do something for Hogwarts Legacy in a state of play, which would mean, right, state of play from what we normally know, it is like one specific game. Now, maybe it's not. Maybe this state of play, and they have done this before, is a grouping, is a couple, like 3 to 5 games. You know how they always do like those like rectangular things, and they fill them in with like the logo of the game, and it's the girl saying, next up is this, like that. It could be that, and Hogwarts could be one of them. That would be fantastic. I'd really, really love that. But would you do that and a PlayStation Showcase? Because then you have like Tom Henderson talking about a PlayStation Showcase. You have Account NGT talking about a PlayStation Showcase. You even have Roberto Serrano talking about a PlayStation Showcase later on in the month, okay? And now that's kind of always been consistent. I would say later on, like next week on, is when they were always kind of talking about a PlayStation Showcase, which would be like a giant thing, God of War, all of that stuff. So again, to me, it doesn't make any sense to do 2 events. I mean, I guess to drum up even more hype, and it does make sense in terms of you can show more things and like you get people excited. I just don't know why you would split it up and not do one thing, because then guess what? If half of the state of play sucks and the other half is good, or half of the PlayStation Showcase sucks and the other half is good, you could say, well, why couldn't you have just combined them? And then you would have had just an overall good, you know what I mean? So it's something, that's how I guess I look at it, all right? Now, the most recent stuff, or the most recent rumors, is delaying it, right? So March 10th was like a locked and loaded date from Roberto for Hogwarts Legacy in a state of play. So again, maybe we should be considering it like a grouping of 3 to 5 games, and Hogwarts is one of them. And then obviously we heard about the PlayStation Showcase. Now I will say, I think every leaker except for maybe Tom Henderson has talked about a potential delay because of the Russia-Ukraine stuff going on, that maybe it would be pushed. Now, I have a couple things to say about that, but let's just kind of finish up the rumor mill. So the word is that this Thursday's thing is potentially delayed. In fact, again, from today, from Game Reactor, again, this was a person who said they have 2 sources that told them a month ago that this would be the week of the state of play or PlayStation Showcase. Again, I think it probably would be a state of play. Because and also remember this, state of plays get very little time in between announce and happening. They normally give 1 to 2 days notice. Whereas, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure the PlayStation Showcase normally or a PlayStation Experience normally gets on average of like 7 to 8 days notice. They normally do it a week in advance. So I would imagine you can't do a PlayStation Showcase this week. You never could, because you didn't announce it last week. Does that make sense? So maybe it's next week, this big place. But also, do you do a state of play, and then the week after, do you do a PlayStation Showcase? Does that really make sense to anybody? To me, it doesn't. I would say 2 weeks difference, right? You do a state of play this week. Next week, you announce the showcase, and then it's the week of the 21st to the 25th. That would be the place. So and that's just me spitballing, right? But you have this Game Reactor. They had said the sources who told them that they are they're also saying, or actually they're saying that the developers that are doing these games for Sony that are going to, give them to Sony to show at this State of Play, they're asking for them to be delayed because of the stuff going on. Now, that's the end of the rumor mill. Let me just kind of throw out my opinion on these delays and the Russia-Ukraine stuff. So, obviously we're in an age of just delaying everything just for the sake, sometimes for the sake of it, sometimes obviously not, right? But no, I don't want to pretend, I don't want to come off the wrong way in pretending like the stuff over there doesn't matter, because certainly it does. Certainly there's some bad stuff over there. Certainly there's some people, there just is. There's people suffering. It's horrible, and I want it to stop and all of that jazz, right? But to keep it also pretty real, and I've said this, I don't think really this is that controversial, but maybe it is. Gaming is a way of escaping. And so while I do agree, or I see it in a sense, that doing something like this may kind of come off as tone deaf, where it's oh, well, you don't care about what's happening over there because you're doing stuff here. But at the same time, I just don't think that's a good argument. You know what I mean? Life also moves on for everybody else. We back stopping this, or we want it to stop, but that doesn't mean our lives end and we're not allowed to, movies aren't allowed to release. And that's another thing, the Batman came out. Was the Batman not allowed to come out over in the United States or anywhere else? Because I don't want to come across tone deaf, where it's well, that stuff literally doesn't matter. No, but you can do a show, and even in the show you could say, hey, we stand with Ukraine or whatever. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you want in that show as an opening statement. You don't have to pretend like it's not happening. You can state it and then say, but you know what? We're here to celebrate games, and we want to show you games, and we're gonna we don't want you to stop buying products while this stuff is going, because we don't know how long that stuff is going to go on. That's another thing too, right? It's odd. It's very, very strange, and I don't like it. I don't like how companies, I think, are handling it from various degrees. It's not just this thing, but I don't know. I don't really agree with delaying this just because of that. Because what are you going to do? Delay it 3 months? Well, how long are you going to delay it for? So I just think go for it. If you want to make a statement at the beginning of it, make a statement, but I really don't see the need to delay. That's, again, without coming across as tone deaf, and I'm sure somebody will run with it the wrong way, and that's the way the internet works. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Obviously, both of these events, if they do both exist, I will be covering a great deal on this channel, so definitely stay tuned here. If you guys want to follow me anywhere else, including supporting us on Patreon or YouTube memberships, links for them all are in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.